Hours before the truce, Israel commits a gruesome massacre in Khan Yunis, claiming the lives of 20 Palestinians, most of whom are children and women. Nasrullah, Syria has always been an impregnable wall against the Zionist project. More terrorists are eliminated as Syrian Arab army continues to target terrorist gatherings in various areas.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Irado Krikorian with the news in English. Hezbollah Secretary General Syed Hassan Nasrallah said the Palestinian cause continues to take a center stage on the regional and international level, despite schemes attempting to marginalize it, attributing that to the steadfastness of Arab states, particularly Syria. Hezbollah's chief was speaking during a central festival in Beirut, marking Jerusalem International Day. Nasrallah, who attended in person at the festival, said, Syria has always been an impregnable wall against the Zionist project. Addressing the people of Gaza, who have been facing an ongoing Israeli military aggression now in its 20th day, Nasrallah said, only the trinity of the battlefield, popular steadfastness and political steadfastness, will win. He said this Zionist long-term scheme was supported by the US and the Western countries, in addition to some Arab regimes whose thrones are dependent on their efforts to protect and defend Israel. The British daily The Independent published an article by the writer Robert Fisk. The writer asserted that the international reaction towards what is taking place in Gaza is shameful. The international community didn't care about the number of martyrs falling every day and the injured of Palestinian children and infants, as the international organization didn't look for providing safe corridors to transfer the wounded. Fisk added, if 800 Israelis were killed, the West could call it a massacre, as they would call the Palestinians to hand over their weapons and the United States would interfere to support Israel militarily. Fisk stressed that the true reality that no one admits is that the whole world do not care about the Palestinians' death. The Palestinian resistance and the Israeli occupation forces announced that a humanitarian truce was agreed upon starting from 8 a.m. and lasting for 12 hours. Hours before the truce, the Israeli occupation continued their heinous crimes against the Palestinians in Gaza Strip, committing a gruesome massacre in Khan Yunis, claiming the lives of 20 Palestinians, most of whom are children, women and elderly people. The martyrs were killed in an airstrike that targeted a house in Khan Yunis with 2 missiles. The Israeli occupation forces resumed their brutal aggression against Gaza Strip for the 20th day in a row, as the death toll reached 910 Palestinians, while about 6,000 were wounded, according to medical sources in the Strip. A statement released by the Palestinian resistance said that 59 Israeli soldiers were killed, 44 tanks and more than 300 vehicles were destroyed. Meanwhile, the brigades of Martyr Jihad Jibril said that they targeted Bi'r Saba with 2 Grad missiles. A massive rally was held in Damascus, starting from the entrance of Al-Hamidiyya market towards the Umayyad Mosque, marking the International Jerusalem Day, an annual event held on the last Friday of the holy month of Ramadan. Popular figures and representatives of Palestinian and Syrian forces, groups and commissions took part in the rally, expressing support for the besieged people of the Gaza Strip. Member of the regional leadership of Al-Ba'ath Party, Khalaf al-Muftah, said that the Palestinian people in Gaza are repelling bravely the Zionist aggression waged against them in cooperation and support from the enemies of the Arab nation and their tools in the region, such as the Gulf countries and Turkey. For his part, Assistant Secretary General of Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine, General Command Talal Naji, said that al-Quds Day is for the Arab and Islamic people around the world, hailing the sacrifices of the Palestinian people in Gaza in confronting Zionist enemy, which seeks to liquidate the Palestinian cause. Welcome back. Terrorists from the so-called Islamic State in Iraq and Syria, ISIS, suffered heavy losses as they were trying to attack a military unit in the south of Al-Hasaka. As a result, the ISIS terrorists retreated more than 15 kilometers back towards the south of Al-Hasaka city near Al-Arisha area, according to witnesses. In a relevant context, Syrian Arab Army units and National Defense Forces repelled an attack launched by a group of terrorists against the building of Al-Ba'ath Arab Socialist Party in the city. A number of terrorists wearing explosive belts sneaked into the building and set ablaze a number of offices before the members of the Syrian Arab Army and the National Defense Forces intervened and killed all the terrorists inside. Number of persons were martyred in the explosion, including Hanna Atallah, member of the Ba'ath Party leadership of Al-Hasaka branch. More terrorists killed and wounded in continued counter-terrorism operations. In Damascus countryside, the Syrian Arab Army units destroyed a number of terrorist vehicles and killed all of the terrorists inside them on the road of Zakiya Khan Yunis. Gatherings of terrorists were also attacked near al-Bashar Mosque in Khan Yunis farms and Maghr al-Mir, as a number of terrorists were killed and injured. In Al-Quds countryside, Syrian Arab Army units killed and wounded a number of terrorists after destroying 4 of terrorist cars to the east of Qudna and to the south of Ain al-Darb. In Palmyra countryside, Syrian Arab Army units eliminated a number of terrorists and destroyed an armored vehicle and a pickup equipped with a heavy machine gun while targeting their gatherings in Ain Hussein, Jazal Oil Well, As-Sawana area and Ash-Sha'ir Mountain. In Homs, during sweeping the old city, security forces uncovered a den for terrorists that was found to include a locally made rocket launcher, a mortar and a 14.5 caliber machine gun. A number of weapons used by terrorists were also seized, including heavy machine guns. The Syrian Arab Army units killed and wounded dozens of terrorists in a number of areas of the countryside of Dar'a and destroyed their criminal tools and vehicles. According to a military source, the Syrian Arab Army units targeted terrorist gatherings in Rasm al-Dahir, in Al-Lujat area, Da'i al-Atman and Dahiyat al-Yarmouk in Dar'a countryside, killing and wounding a number of them and destroying weapons and ammunition in their possession. Finally, in Iraq, air forces and ground forces eliminated about 49 terrorists in Takrete, Biji, Al-Falluja and Al-Musel. On the other hand, 3 prayers were martyred and 8 others were injured during a car bomb inside a garage, South Kirkuk, after the Friday prayers. Politically, the spiritual leader As-Sistani during the Friday prayers called the political leaders for not to cling to their jobs and to be flexible in order to get over terrorism. On the international level, the French daily Le Monde held the EU responsible for the painful tragedy that happened to the Christians of Mosul, who were obliged to leave their homes because of the Takfiri terrorists. With this, we end our news for today. Thank you for watching. For more details about Syria and the region and to view this bulletin again, you can always visit our website in English, syriaonline.sy. Now to latest business and market news with Nariman Qassam, but after a short break.